Welcome, Blackhawks fans, to another edition of Blackhawks Central podcast presented by Breaks Media. I'm your host, Joe Vitali. We're here in episode 2, and we have a trade to announce. Taylor Hall is a Chicago Blackhawk. Wow, I can't believe it. That is so wild. So the full deal is Taylor Hall and the rights to Nick Foligno for the rights to Ian Mitchell and Alec Regula. Now, I had Alec Regula in my starting lineup last episode, so we're going to obviously change that up. That not going to work. So, Ian Mitchell, he's joining his former coach at Denver University, Jim Montgomery, who just won, by the way, the Jack Adams Award for Best Coach in the NHL. So congratulations to Jim Montgomery, Monty, as his players like to call him. I had a buddy play for him in the USHL, so he says loved him. Just amazing coach. Had a little bit of a misstep in Dallas, but he put in the work. He's back. Now he just won the Jack Adams. Awesome story. You'd love to see it. But we don't care about the Boston Bruins. We care about the Chicago Blackhawks. So Taylor Hall, Chicago Blackhawk. He had 36 points in 61 games played last season. This is a little bit of a Band-Aid, kind of hurt. I mean, Boston did a little bit of cap circumvention, but wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We've been there before too. Patrick Kane, after he broke his collarbone, so we're going to sweep that under the rug and we're going to move on. He also played 7 games in the playoffs and had 8 points, so he was pretty clutch, which is you really like to see that, him showing up in the big moments so he can shepherd Connor Bedard to do the same. Now, as I mentioned, I had Alec Regula in the starting lineup, and now we just gained 2 more players as well, so we're going to put those lines in a blender, and I'm going to read them to you now again. So I'm going to go Hall, Bedard, Andreas Athanasiou, Lucas Reichel, Cole Guttman, Taylor Radish, Jason Dickinson, Tyler Johnson, Phil Kurashev. I like to refer to him as Philadelphia. That is not his name at all. It's a Trailer Park Boys reference, actually, for Philadelphia Collins. And rest in peace, Mustard Tiger. And then 4th line, we got Boris Katchouk, Nick Foligno, Colin Blackwell. And extras are going to be Joey Anderson, Mackenzie Entwistle, and Reese Johnson. Now, we were saying that the bottom 6 was really rough. And it still is. But it's way less rough. And so that Dickinson, Tyler Johnson, Kurashev 3rd line is going to be really good. Plain and simple, it's just going to be good. Katchouk, Foligno, Foligno, and Blackwell, good defensive players. Boris Katchouk kind of lost out there, but he picked up his touch last season towards the end, playing with Anderson and Jujhar Khaira. He's UFA. I don't think he's coming back, unfortunately. So we'll see how Boris fares with these new line mates. Hopefully it's well. And then we're going to go to the D again. Because Alec Regula, he's gone. And Ian Mitchell couldn't crack the lineup. Good puck-moving defenseman. Little small but nimble. Played really well at the Spangler Cup a couple years ago for Team Canada. And, he wasn't really given a shot. He was crowded out. And so I hope that this move and the synergy with the head coach in Boston might prove good for him and good for his game. So we got Korchinski, Seth Jones, Isaac Phillips, Connor Murphy, Jared Tenorti, Nikita Zaitsev. And then Korchinski, once again, is going to stay for 9 games. Then we're going to send him back to the Western Hockey League. The CHL, the Canadian Hockey Leagues, which are OHL, Ontario, Western, or WHL, Western, and QMJHL, Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, they all have this agreement with the NHL where they can't go to the AHL. And I think it's a very strange agreement because, obviously the CHL wants their players so that they can sell tickets, so that they can sell and make money, sell their jerseys and whatnot. But I mean, we're talking about the NHL here, guys. This is the best league in the world for ice hockey. So I think you'd want your players there sooner rather than later to point and say, "Hey, look what we did. We took this guy and now he's in the NHL. He's in the best league imaginable." So, I don't know what's up with that. I hope maybe in the next CBA collective bargaining agreement that the NHL can hammer that out and then they can bring those players into the AHL. So Korchinski's going to play those first 9 games and then he's going to go back to Seattle and just rip and tear it up. So then in that case, it's going to be Isaac Phillips, Seth Jones, Alex Vlasic, Connor Murphy, Jared Tenorti, Nikita Zaitsev. And the extra is going to be Philip Roos. Now he is in Rockford right now, and he's 24 years old, so it's kind of crap or get off the pot right now for him. So I'd like to bring him up, see what we have, put him in there. Is he that much worse than Tenorti? I don't think so. Is he that much worse than a Zaitsev? I don't think so at all. I think Zaitsev is kind of a tweener, unfortunately. Um, but you like Tenorti in there for the toughness factor. So we'll have him in the as an extra practicing with the big club down at Fifth Third Arena. And, just getting the reps, seeing what it's like. And then maybe he'll go back to Europe and get his bag and move on. Don't really have any feelings about him, like I said, I like all our players. I like all of them, and I want to see them succeed. But if that's not how it's going to work, it's just not how it's going to work. And they're going to move on, rip the Band-Aid off, get them out. Sorry, see ya, bye, have a great life. But it's still Bedard season, and with the draft in Nashville on Wednesday, let's go through some more draft ideas. Let's talk more draft. So I've been hearing through the various podcasts I listen to that moving up in the draft, when I'm saying, you have those tiers, you got the top 10, 1 to 10, it's probably even like 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, whatever. So getting into the top 20, kind of easy. Getting into the top 15, a little harder. Getting into the top 10, well, it's proven to be almost near impossible. And it's even proving to be impossible to get into that top 15. So, I don't really see a lot of those, trades we were talking about the draft, working up, moving up to 11 with Vancouver, nope, not going to happen. Moving up to 14 with Pittsburgh, probably not. Moving up into like the second round or the third round, I think we were talking about Anthony Mantha, and we moved up 11 spots from 52 to 41, I want to say. So, I just don't think that's really going to work. But luckily, our boys at the Blackhawks talk, NBC Chicago, and that's Charlie Roumeliotis, Blackhawks insider, James Naveau, and Pat Boyle. Pat Boyle back from vacation. They were just throwing some names around, thinking about who are the Blackhawks going to take with number 19 overall, because obviously number 1 overall is Connor Bedard. He's not getting traded. He's not pulling a Lindros. Nothing of the sorts, because any trade package that a team is going to give up for number 1 overall is not going to be worth it. I mean, we're literally talking like, say Toronto is like, yeah, we want Connor Bedard. Okay, well, give us Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander, and then throw in, someone on the back end, maybe a TJ Brody, and your next four first round picks, all unprotected. So does that make any sense? No, that doesn't even make sense to me. And, I don't even want any of those Toronto guys, if I'm being honest, because I don't think a lot of them want to win. But that's besides the point. So for Charlie, he prioritized size because he noticed that, Connor Bedard is in the 5'10" range, and the other forwards, if you're looking at, the Blackhawks forwards, and a lot of those bottom six guys, like Blackwell, he's a short guy. Other guys, like an Anderson, I think he's probably 5'10 about. Reese Johnson, 5'10, so he's prioritizing size. And then he was also saying about like Frank Nazar. Frank Nazar is like, you know, 5'10 about. And so he really, really prioritized size. That is Charlie. And so he was looking at a Nate Danielson, a Samuel Hanzik, or a Quentin Musty. And now Quentin Musty does not fit the size bill, but those other guys do. Now the only thing is that those Nate Danielsons and Samuel Hanziks might not be available. Plain and simple, they might get taken earlier in the draft. Um, so I'm okay with that. I think if you look at the last um, Stanley Cup, you know, the Vegas Golden Knights, their entire six defensemen, they were all Redwoods. They were all 6'3" and above, and they could dish it, they could take it, they could play whatever the way you want. And I think that's really, really important. And then you look at Florida, Matthew Tkachuk is a menace to society. He tearing it up. He is hitting people. He is scoring goals. He is telling you that your mom is a terrible cook and getting away with it. It's just ridiculous. So the size factor is pretty big. I think in the NHL, they've kind of gone at an overcorrection. So they went the full. They were like, hey, well, these guys, these like 6 foot guys that can't even play are beating people up and playing 9 minutes a night. So the goon gone, chuck it, and then you see okay, possession, speed, skill, and then you got these smaller guys. You got your Alex DeBrincats, you got your Cole Caulfields. These guys are small, but they can play. They are so skilled, amazing hands, buttery smooth, and they are just sniping and dangling away. So they went, goon, get them out of here. All the little guys come in. All right, awesome. Speed, skill, Martin St. Louis. You're like, this is awesome. And then they're like, wait a minute. The big guys that are available, they're taking advantage of these little guys. Now we need to bulk back up. So now those big guys are back, and but now they can skate, and they've got skills. They've got buttery smooth mitts. They've got good shots. They're big. They can skate. They can move up the ice. Though you want those guys back. And so Nate Danielson, Samuel Hanzik, Quentin Musty for Charlie Roumeliotis. James Naveau said the Hawks can go up, which, like I said, it's going to be really, really tough. He'd like them to go for Matthew Wood, which I checked that guy out. I believe he's 6'5" already at 18, 19. No qualms, no qualms. Bring him on in. He's got bite. He's got skill. He's got skate. That's awesome. I'm in. He said Gabe Perreault, Oliver Bonk, or Colby Barlow as well. Pat agrees with Charlie in the size department, so he wants Wood, Danielson, Hanzik. He's thinking maybe Callum Ritchie, a Daniel Butt, or a Quentin Musty. And then he said, well, maybe we can galaxy brain this and get a D instead of a forward. But this is a really deep draft for forwards. It's not that deep in the D department, and it's very top heavy in the D department. So like your David Reinbachers and stuff, they're gonna go kind of early, or Sandin Pekka. Those guys are gonna go in like they're saying I see a bunch of mock drafts, and they've got Reinbacker going to either Arizona or maybe to Montreal. I don't really get it, to be honest, because Matvei Michkov would be available, I think. Um, he shouldn't be, but that's also different. They got guys saying Matvei Michkov should go two, and then that's just going to throw everything off. So really, like top heavy in the D, but not really that deep. So I would just go with a forward, and that's why James Naveau was saying Oliver Bonk. That's kind of funny. A very funny name to say, because he is a defenseman, just like a good two-way guy, more defensive than offensive, but big right shot. You know, I'm okay with that. Right shot D are very hard to come by. So, but like I said, I just think you should go. There's no reason to Galaxy Brain. I think you just go forward. Um, Corey Promen of the Athletic, he had at 19 for the Blackhawks either Braden Yeager or Oliver Moore. So I'm completely okay with both of those guys. Um, he he is in Corey Promen was saying, with Braden Yeager is his pick over Oliver Moore if they're both still available because Braden Yeager has higher skill. So he's not in that size category, but he's in the skill. And, Hawks have lost Taves, Kane, DeBrincat. They need skill. Yeah, is Connor Bedard going to be here? Of course. Is he need more skill? Absolutely. So, you're going to want, Frankie Nazar. He's a good player, but he's I want to say a little bit more hard nosed, a little more in your face and smaller. So like he's gonna go get the puck and then he's gonna go dish it to Bedard who's gonna finish it. So he's not really gonna be driving play, I don't think. Um, but stranger things have happened. So and it really depends on what the Blackhawks need. So that's it for the episode, guys. I'm really excited for Wednesday. Bedard season is upon us, so they got Blackhawks have a nice party going on in Nashville. If you're gonna make the trek, I've seen a couple Blackhawks fans on Reddit/Hawks going to Nashville. So good for them. That's awesome. Eat all the Nashville hot chicken you can because love that stuff. And then if you're going to the Salt Shed for the one here at home, let me know how it goes. And, that looks like a great time. They got a bunch of Hawks alumni and stuff. So oh man, that should be really exciting. And Salt Shed, brand new venue. I haven't been there yet, and I'd really like to check it out. So you know what? Maybe I might be going there, and I might get to see you Blackhawks fans. That's going to be a great time. And I just want to, last episode I said some things that weren't quite the truth. So I'm just gonna correct them right here. So Alex DeBrincat, I said 40 and 41 goals. Wrong. It was 41 goals twice, and that was in 18-19 and 21-22. So love Alex, and all the best to him getting out of Ottawa. I heard some trade speculation, some trade things. Maybe he wants to go to maybe get him to Vegas for I think it was a third round pick in Nicholas Waugh or Nicholas Roy. I don't know which one it is if I'm being honest here. I think it's Waugh. So like Patrick Waugh, the goaltender, legendary. Um, so we'll see how that goes out. Ottawa's definitely taking him to ARB, so I would never wish ARB on arbitration on my worst enemies. I've heard the teams just pick you apart piece by piece. No thanks. I'm I'm good on that. And then I said Anthony Mantha, big body, like 6'2", 6'3". No, he's 6'5". So he is a big boy, and hopefully he can use that size if the Hawks end up getting him and make space out there for our boy Connor Bedard. Zaitsev, I mentioned the trade in which he got acquired. It was just a cap dump from Ottawa. I think I said a second and a fifth. So it's a 2023 second. So this year is a second that we're getting, and then a 2026 fourth is also what we got in that. Um, so I just wanted to, get this, iron these things out. I'm sure there's some diehards out there like, dude, are you kidding me? It wasn't 40 goals. It was 41 twice. Get it together. I understand, and I apologize. And then I didn't say the first names of the prospects that I thought that the Hawks should go after. So I just said Musty and Moore. And if you've been, following along with the draft, you already knew this, but this is just for me. And Quentin Musty, Oliver Moore. So, good luck to the Blackhawks on Wednesday. Bedard season. Can't wait to see him in a Blackhawks jersey. That's going to be so sick. And I'm looking forward to see who the Hawks get at 19, and maybe they can slide in with a couple of their second round picks into that first round, and then maybe grab like a Cristal, grab Connor Bedard's buddy, small, skilled, it doesn't go with the size, but that's okay. They're buddies. They're going to be having a great time doing dirty dangles and sniping top cheese. So this was Blackhawks Central Hockey Podcast. I'm Joe Vitali. I'm going to get out of here. Let's go Hawks. Bedard season. Have a great night. We'll see you on the next one.